Hello, members of the La Miranda Ukulele Club. This week's Song of the Week is Sway, which is a Latin or a cha-cha-cha song, and it's from our Blue Book, the leap year edition of the Daily Ukulele. So if you'd like to pause this video and get that out and just follow along at least the chords of the song, you can do that right now. Today, using Sway, I'm going to demonstrate a couple of things. The first thing is discovering the rhythm and the groove of a song, and then using a strumming pattern that you think kind of fits that groove and feeling that you have, and match the strumming to that feeling. The second thing is we'll talk a little bit about merging some of the melody lines in a song into your strumming pattern to make the song maybe a little bit more interesting. So first I'll play Sway, and then we'll talk about a couple of those things. When marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway. Like a lazy ocean hugs the shore, hold me close, sway me more. Like a flower bending in the breeze, bend with me, sway with ease. When we dance you have a way with me, stay with me, sway with me. Other dancers may be on the floor here, but my eyes will see only you. Only you have that magic technique. When we sway I go weak. I can hear the sound of violins long before it begins. Make me thrill as only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway me now. Other dancers may be on the floor, dear, but my eyes will see only you. Only you have that magic technique. When we sway I go weak. When marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway. Like a lazy ocean hugs the shore, hold me close, sway me more. Sway me smooth, sway me now. Okay, so knowing a little bit about a song also helps you figure out how to do it. And this song was written in 1953 by a Mexican composer, and his lyrics were about a melancholy man wondering whether he would ever love again. Kind of sad, right? Well, an American composer came along and liked the music, but he changed the lyrics and the title from a song of despair to a song of passion. And his lyrics are about a man praising his dancing partner's ability to touch his heart and how she sways when they dance together. Today, reading the lyrics from our modern perspective, I can imagine that they may have been doing some dancing off the dance floor as well. But regardless of that, that's a good segue into the first of two things that I wanted to talk about. And that is discovering the rhythm and groove of a song and then using ukulele strums to match that. And one of the things I do first with a song where I want to work it a little bit like this is listen to some different people playing it. And there's a lot of people that have covered this song. It's a really great song. And cha-cha-cha is a musical form that originated in Cuba. And coincidentally for the song Sway, it's meant to be danced to. So you can also just kind of imagine a couple dancing to the song as you're playing it. Cha-cha music has syncopated rhythms, and I'd like to compare that a little bit to the couple of songs of the week that I've done videos on. First, Sweet Pea. And you remember Sweet Pea has a very deliberate 4-beat rhythm, if you remember how it goes. Sweet pea, apple of my eye, one strum for every beat. And also Bring Me Sunshine that I shared a few tips upon. That is a song where I suggested that you do a strum on the second and fourth beat. See if I remember how that goes. Bring me sunshine with your smile. So on the second and fourth beat. But with sway has a syncopated cha-cha rhythm where the eighth notes of the rhythm are often played on the upbeat. So if I could do this, I don't know if I can do this or not, but it sounds more like this. Something like that. So then how do you do that with your ukulele? Well, you noticed I was using a strum with which a lot of you I think are already using. That is a down, down, up, down, up kind of thing. So let me do that. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down. When the rhythm start to, etc. And then you can do another thing with that particular strum is you can use what we call a fan strum with that second down. So you can do this. And I think I was doing that through most of the song. By the way, the fan strum is usually taught going with your third, second, and first finger like that. I don't know. I learned how to do that a long time ago on the guitar, starting with my index finger. So you notice I do that. So don't do it the way I'm doing. At least Aldrine told me, no, it's better to fan this way. And then there's another kind of variant of the fan that I used actually in the song too, if you noticed. And that's instead of the fan with your fingers, a slow strum through, and I use my middle finger. So let me show you, or just let you hear that. Here's the fan. And it's a little different sound. It's kind of close, but it's a little different. You can do it either way. Another technique of syncopation is the use of triplets. Not just with cha-cha music, but with other songs as well. And I did that a couple of times in this song, you probably noticed. And a triplet, at least in 4/4 time, is playing, or maybe in any time, I'm not quite sure, is playing 3 notes in the time of 2 notes. So let me just demonstrate kind of where I did that. Let me finish a verse. Stay with me, sway with me, sway with me, right here. Other dancers may be on the floor. So there are 3 notes there that I did, if you caught that, where there are 2 beats, but I fit 3 notes into it. So you have to give them a little different value. I did that in one other place of the song. So let me play that bridge and hear where else I did the triplet at the end of the bridge here. Other dancers may be on the floor. There was the first one. Dear, but my eyes will see only you. Only you have that magic technique. When we sway, I go weak. Right at the end there. 1, 2, 3 is another triplet, and you hear that a lot in cha-cha and salsa music as well. And as you can use it in places either to go into something, like I did with the bridge, or to kind of crescendo into the ending of a phrase to get into the next, which is what I did at the end there. Anyway, the second technique that I'd like to talk a little bit about is merging individual melody notes and even other notes that aren't necessarily the melody but are complementary into the strum as you do the song. And I just want to mention before, and you saw me do that a lot, and I'll show it here in a second again. You don't want to do that, in my mind, through the whole darn song, because that gets pretty monotonous, and everybody's waiting for you to miss one of the notes that's in the melody. So what I did in Sway, as you might have noticed, I did it in some places. So let me show you at the beginning here. When marimba rhythms start to play. So I did, that's the E minor 7th chord. And then I just took off the first string got the second string of the third fret, and that's a phrase of the melody. When marimba rhythms start to play, and I did it twice. Dance with me, make me sway. And here, I added in some notes that aren't part of the melody, but maybe are complementary. Dance with me, make me sway. So, when marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway. Like a lazy ocean, here we go again, hugs the shore, hold me close, sway me more. So I'm using some chord variations that aren't exactly the chord, and sometimes when you do that, you want to avoid some of the strings that are maybe a little dissonant, so you can hit the strings that are right. So here, I'm not playing that note, I'm not playing the fourth string. And in order to get those notes, as you noticed, you're going to have to manipulate your fretting hand a little bit to find them while you're strumming. And hopefully you pick parts of the melody or the complementary things to where the rest of the strings, if you have to hit them, are not dissonant. And if they are, you just avoid hitting them with your hand if you can. Let's see, that's that. Yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to say about integrating the melody notes. So try some of that stuff, spice up the way you play sway, or maybe you have your own way of playing it that's even better. And try these techniques also not only with this song, but other songs where it lends itself. So, thanks. See you later.